enough of this sappy romanticism. Now you shall get what you came for, a dramatic reading of The Telltale Heart. True, nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous. I have been and am. But why will you say that I'm mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was the sense of hearing acute. I have heard all things in heaven and in the earth. I've heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object, there was none. Passion, there was none. I loved the old man. He had never wronged me. He had never given me insult. For his gold, I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with a film over it. And whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now, this is the point where you fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. You should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old...
I'm so terribly sorry.
Are you enjoying the presentation?
It's my favorite Christmas story.
Oh, you like this?
I love this one.
Would you care to assist?
Yes, I do, Ada. Do assist.
Do step forward. Do step forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Lady Lovelace. You shall assist me by playing the old man.
I'm gonna get a beautiful role.
Yes. An old man with a hideous eye. Your eyes are fine. Just pretend. This is the part you fancy. And every night, yes, I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and I opened it, oh, so gently. And then when I can't play the protagonist and narrate at the same time. I need someone to play. I do need someone to play. I need a pansy or a proxy.
Sorry, what?
It's too wild. Would you care to assist?
Of course.
Well, you stand over here, if you'd be so kind. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Oscar Wilde.
Thank you, Edgar.
You shall be playing me in this particular endeavor. Oh, very good. This is a photo opportunity.
That's just terrifying.
Every night, yes, here you are. You're looking in on the old man. Every night, just at midnight, I turned the latch of his door and I opened it so gently. And then, when I made an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. You would have laughed to see how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it very slowly, so that I would not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me a whole hour to place my whole head within the opening, so far as I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Would a madman have been so wise as this? And then, when my head was well within the room, I undid the lantern cautiously. Oh, so cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it just so much that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eye always closed, and so it was impossible to do the work. For you see, it was not the old man who vexed me, but his evil eye. And every morning, when the day broke, I would go boldly into the chamber, speaking to him merrily in a haughty tone, inquiring how he had spent the night. So you see, he would have had to have been a very profound old man indeed to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in on him while he slept.
I don't don't think that's entirely appropriate.
This whole story isn't appropriate.
Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night have I felt the extent of my own powers, my sagacity. I could barely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that here I was, opening the door little by little, and he not even dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. Why, I fairly chuckled at the idea. And perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now you may think I drew back, but no. The room was black as pitch with the black darkness, for the shutters were fastened for fear of robbers. And so I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing it on steadily. I had my head in, and was just about to open the lantern, when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening, and the old man sprang up in bed, crying out, "Who's there?"
Who's there?
Very good. I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour I did not move a muscle. Very good. And in the meantime, I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting in the bed, listening, just as I have done night after night, hearkening to the death watches of the wall. Presently I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was a groan of mortal terror. It was not a groan of pain or grief. Oh no, it was the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. Let's hear your moan of awe.
Oh.
That's hardly a
Is
moan
that
of
all?
awe.
Let's see if you can do better.
Give us a moan of awe.
Oh, my, yes. Very good.
I'll take that.
Well done, Ada.
I knew the sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, it has welled up from within my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful errors, echo, the terrors that distracted me. Let's hear your moan of awe.
Come on, very good.
There you are. Something like a true artist.
Gosh, that's terrifying.
I say I knew it well. I knew what the old man felt, and I pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew that he had been lying awake ever since that first slight noise when he had turned in the bed. His fears had ever since been growing upon him. He had been trying to fancy them causeless, but he could not. He had been saying to himself, "Oh, it's just the wind in the chimney. It's only a mouse crossing the floor. Or it's a cricket that has made a single chirp." Yes, he had been trying to comfort himself with these suppositions, but he found all in vain, because death, in approaching him, had stalked with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim, and it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I had waited a long
There was a presence of his head in the room.
and I had waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very little crevice in the lantern, so I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length a single dim ray, like the thread of a spider, came out from the crevice and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open! Wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones. I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person. I had directed the ray, as if by instinct, precisely upon the damned spot. Now, what I have told you that what you mistake for madness is an over-acuteness of the senses. I now say there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well, too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of a drum stimulates the soldier into courage, and even yet I refrained and kept still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and louder with every... As a matter of fact, we need a heartbeat. Why don't you help us? Just slowly. Very good. It grew quicker and louder. Another instant. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say. Louder every moment. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I am nervous, and so I am. But at the dread hour of night, amidst the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise is this, excited beyond insurmountable terror. But for some minutes longer, I refrained and stood still. But the beating grew louder. I thought the heart must burst. And then a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbor. So the old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leapt into the room. He shrieked once only. In an instant, keep going. I dragged him to the floor and I pulled the heavy bed over him. And I smiled gaily to find the deed thus far done. But for many minutes, the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. And at length, it ceased. The old man was dead. The old man is dead, yes. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there for many minutes. There was no pulsation. Behave yourself, Oscar.
Since when?
He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. Couldn't be funny. The end. If you still think me mad, you will think so no longer when I describe how the wise precautions that I took for concealment of the body. When I feigned, I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. I cut off the head,
No, you're cool. They don't.
You're playing a dismembered body very well, Lady Lovelace. I then took up 3 planks from the flooring of the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatsoever. I'd been too wary for that. A tub had caught hold. When I had made an end to these labors, it was 4 o'clock, still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to open it with a light heart, for what had I to fear? There entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. You don't have to do anything, just... A shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office, and they, the officers, had been dispatched to search the premises. I smiled, for what had I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was but my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber. I showed them his treasure, secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, while I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. They sat, and while I answered cheerily, they chatted of familiar things. Before long, I found myself getting pale, and I wished them gone. My head ached. I fancied a ringing in my ears. Still they sat, and still they chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued, and became more distinct, and gained definitiveness until, at length, I found that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale, so I talked more fluently and with a heightened voice, yet the sound increased. What could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. So I talked more quickly and more vehemently, and the noise steadily increased. I arose, and I argued about trifles in a high key with violent gesticulation, and the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides, as if excited with desperation by the observations of these men, but the noise gradually increased. Oh God, what can I do? I foamed, I raved, I swore, I swung the chair upon which I had been sitting and grated it upon the floorboards, but the loud noise arose over all. Was it possible that they heard not? Almighty God, they heard! They suspected! They knew! They were making a mockery of my horror! This I thought, and this I think, but if anything was better than this agony, anything was more tolerable than this derision, I could bear those hypocritical smiles no longer. I felt that I must scream or die, and now again, hark! Louder! 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 Villains! I shrieked! I admit the deed! Dissemble no more! Tear up the plague! Here! Here! It is the beating of his hideous heart!
Welcome. Here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Oscar Wilde!
And Lady Lovelace.
And the Lady Lovelace! Are you all... Ada, are you well? Have you fallen asleep? Wake up! You did a wonderful job.
Here we are.
Lady Lovelace, ladies and
Strangest
gentlemen.
dream.
Up we get. Oh.
I think I'm missing a spleen. If I can find it.
Thank you, my friends.
Oh.
Time to